Greetings, Niners fans. In today's video, we got a ton of updates to dive into, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The San Francisco 49ers received some encouraging news ahead of the NFL Draft, with a scenario that could unfold quite favorably for the team in the first 2 rounds, at least according to a renowned expert in trench evaluations. One of the players drawing attention is James Pierce Jr., and we'll be bringing you more details on him shortly. Even if you've already seen some of this information, stick around as we'll take a closer look at the likelihood of the 49ers actually following the expert's advice. The analysts suggest that the Niners should select James Pierce Jr. with the 11th overall pick. Standing at 6'5" and weighing 245 pounds, Pierce clocked a 4.47 at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. When evaluating his on-field performance, it's clear he brings elite speed off the line of scrimmage and the ability to beat opponents in open space. He can line up in a 2-point or 4-point stance, and crucially, he consistently collapses the pocket with a combination of speed and strength, often overpowering players who outweigh him by 100 pounds. The Niners need to add more speed and athleticism to their defense, and James Pierce Jr., with his rare mix of size and agility, brings exactly that. This analysis focuses on the possibility of Pierce being selected at 11 overall, a player firmly projected as a first-round talent. The expert highlights several key aspects, and we'll examine whether this is a realistic option and how things might unfold if the Niners go trench-heavy with their top pick. First, let's reiterate. We're talking about a 6 feet 5 inches, 245-pound athlete who ran a 4.47. That's elite speed with the ability to dodge defenders in the open field. He's effective both standing up and in a 4-point stance, and consistently collapses the pocket with impressive quickness and power, making him a difficult talent to overlook. It's easy to get excited about this prospect. The only uncertainty after all this hype is whether this player will actually be available at pick 11. That's worth considering, especially when you look at the list of top projected players on the screen. There are big names, no doubt, but also several high-end defensive linemen who could come off the board early. However, you'll notice that James Pierce Jr. is not on that list. He isn't projected to go in the top 11. Still, nearly every expert agrees he won't fall out of the first round. So we're talking about a first-round talent. If the Niners decide to follow their usual strategy of targeting players who outperform expectations, they might not hesitate to take him at number 11. Whether it's pick 11, 15, or 19, that's not the point. What matters is securing your guy. Unless, and here's the debate, the Niners could have traded down last year and still landed the same player. That's the unknown, and we'll never know what might have been. That uncertainty lingers. Maybe they could have moved back 10 spots and still picked their guy. But unless someone was willing to trade up, it's all hypothetical. These are fair questions, but for me, the priority is locking in your player. If he fits your scheme, we'll discuss that more soon. But if this is your guy, you make sure you get him. That's how I see it. In this case, most of Pierce's production comes from the outside. His speed off the edge and ability to beat blockers in space make him an ideal fit for a specific defensive scheme. This aligns perfectly with the team's strategic vision. All of this seems to make sense, but we also have to consider how the expert scouting reports evaluated him, because that matters too. They rank him as the 23rd overall player, a respectable spot on the draft board. Of course, this doesn't guarantee where he'll actually be picked, since team needs and other factors override rankings. Still, the consensus is that Pierce is the 23rd best player available, and he possesses the kind of athleticism, production, and disruptive traits that shouldn't allow him to slide out of the first round. Scouting reports describe him as highly agile with explosive first steps and strong speed-to-power transition despite his lighter weight. He anticipates the snap well, makes effective pre-snap moves, and consistently attacks the interior of blockers. His chase speed in pursuit is also impressive. No matter the source, Pierce is portrayed as an explosive athlete with solid pursuit speed and excellent timing off the snap. Now, let me clarify. I'm not saying he's identical to any particular NFL star, so hear me out before jumping to conclusions. They're not the same player, but some traits he's shown do remind evaluators of elite defenders. He's a bit leaner, around 6 feet 5 inches, with a slimmer frame. That has some drawbacks, sure, but it could work well in a system that prioritizes speed and acceleration. He may not even need to bulk up much more. I like his size, I like his quickness, and I see real potential in what he could become for this defense. If the 49ers go this route, there's a strong chance the team could finally have both edge spots secured, something they haven't had in years. That would be exciting. But if they draft an edge at 11, what does that mean for the defensive tackle position? It's another area they urgently need to address early in the draft. That's my take. The Niners need to invest in both an edge and at least one tackle from the jump. So, what happens if they take an edge rusher at pick 11 instead of a tackle? Here's how things could unfold. I'm not sure about the red circle and the visuals. We'll get to that later. But the team recently hosted a player on a visit, and I believe that matters within the narrative they're building through these visits. It adds context to why this selection could benefit the team. The 49ers have been crafting a storyline over time through their visits with the top 30 prospects, showing how this process could really work in their favor when evaluating talent. I've taken notes to make sure we cover everything. Regarding defensive tackles, they've brought in more than 4 names: Walter Nolan, Omar Normanlot, TJ Sanders, Tyreek Williams, and Darius Alexander. You can tell these DTs are projected to go late in the first or into the second round, which highlights the team's interest in players who might be available on day 2. They're not necessarily among the top 30, but Derek Harmon is also being tracked by the team. Walter Nolan, Tyreek Williams, Darius Alexander, TJ Sanders, and Omar Normanlot have all caught the Niners' attention, and most of them likely won't go in the first round. This brings us back to the central question. If the 49ers go edge in the first, my gut feeling, I wouldn't be shocked to see a tackle picked as well. If Mason Graham is somehow still there at 11, that's an intriguing scenario. But the draft is full of surprises. I won't be disappointed if they go with a tackle over an edge, but something tells me edge is the priority, especially given how athletic these players are and how rare they are to find. There's something unique about edge defenders and the kind of impact they can bring, especially in the Niners system, which urgently needs to fill both roles with players who can stop the run. If the team follows this analyst's advice, the outcome could be very promising. I genuinely appreciate the insight. James Pierce Jr. started climbing mock drafts before fading a bit, but his value remains high. Maybe not top 10 high, but still intriguing. There are still questions about RAS, relative athletic score, especially with Darius Alexander, whether he's a DE or a DT. Most believe he'll enter the league as a DT, and his 9.17 RAS is very respectable. So, Darius Alexander is definitely a name to watch. It's exciting to see the Niners continue to bring in these kinds of players. We're just 10 days away from the 2025 NFL Draft. That's incredibly exciting. With just a week left, anticipation is building. I can't wait to see what decisions the 49ers make, especially in that 2.9 to 2.10 range. It's going to be fascinating, especially to see how New Orleans handles their quarterback situation. So, there's a lot to look forward to, and a lot more come. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers have turned into full-blown speculation, and now fans are asking, have we seen the last of Christian McCaffrey in a 49ers uniform? The star running back, once the crown jewel of Kyle Shanahan's offense, is at the center of a media storm. After an injury-riddled 2024 campaign and months of vague statements from the front office, the noise around a potential exit is louder than ever. What started as a few anonymous reports has quickly spiraled into a full-blown saga, and the 49ers faithful are left searching for answers. Just last summer, McCaffrey signed a blockbuster 2-year extension worth $38 million, reaffirming his status as the highest-paid running back in the league. The 49ers made it clear he was their guy. But football is a business, and injuries have a way of rewriting even the most carefully crafted scripts. After battling through calf and Achilles issues in the offseason, McCaffrey made just 4 appearances in 2024 before suffering a PCL injury that ended his regular season. He finished the year with a disappointing 348 scrimmage yards and 0 touchdowns, a steep fall from his 2023 Offensive Player of the Year campaign. Behind closed doors, things may be unraveling. According to sources close to the organization, there's growing tension over McCaffrey's durability and long-term value. With the team already carrying heavy contracts, including defensive cornerstone Nick Bosa, there's pressure on the front office to make tough decisions. The whispers suggest that the 49ers could look to trade McCaffrey before the 2025 season kicks off, hoping to offload salary and possibly recoup draft capital. If that's true, the coming weeks could be explosive. Fueling the fire is the silence. McCaffrey has yet to address the rumors publicly, and Shanahan's recent press conferences have been cryptic at best. When asked directly about McCaffrey's status, the head coach deflected, pointing only to ongoing evaluations and a desire to put the healthiest roster on the field. Meanwhile, McCaffrey has been conspicuously absent from team media, further intensifying the speculation. His trip to Germany for Achilles treatment late last year already raised eyebrows, and now every move, or lack thereof, is being dissected. For now, nothing is official, but the storm is building. Whether this ends in a blockbuster trade, a public statement, or a stunning return of form, one thing is clear. The Christian McCaffrey saga is far from over. And for 49ers fans, every day without clarity only adds more weight to the question no one wants to ask out loud. Is this the end of an era? That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.